Today I will take the topic number 4 in installation, maintenance and testing. The content of this topic I read out, and after that we will discuss one by one. Insulation, testing and maintenance, in which this chapter we have to discuss instruments used for measuring insulation resistance, reasons for deterioration of insulation resistance, then improving insulation resistance, drying of insulation, measurement of internal temperature of winding, vacuum integration, filtering of insulating oil, and testing of insulating oil. These are the points to be discussed in this particular chapter. So first of all, we discuss why insulation required. What is the definition of insulation? Insulation is a layer provided over the conductor with the help of insulating material which are having different class from A to E, and from this particular class of insulation it is applicable according to the use and the temperature of the working temperature of the winding or the insulating material, or in the installation at what temperature we have to work out. So normally insulation, they are designed from 90 degree to 180 degree centigrade temperature. In between these there are 5 classes of insulations are there. It depend upon different temperature range. So insulation is a material which is provided on the conductor for providing insulation of the conductor from the earth. Means insulation prevent the flow of current from conducting part to non-conducting part. Non-conducting part means whatever the body of the equipment is there and earthing. These are the non-conducting part, and conducting part is that the conductor from where the current is passing, or we applied the voltage across the conductor. So insulation provided to prevent the flow of any current from conductor to the earth or to the body of the equipment. So insulation, there are different type of insulations are required for different purpose according to the temperature rise or according to the temperature range of use of the equipment, or in the installation at what temperature the installation will work. According to that you will select the type of insulation. So here I will discuss today these points which are given in this particular topic, that instrument used for measuring insulation resistance. Insulation resistance are generally measured with the help of Megger, or Megger, the name, as the Megger name implies, it is measured in terms of megaohm. Always insulation resistance, it is coming out in megaohm. Different type of insulation they provide different type of megaohm value. So normally for different type of installation the megaohm value is fixed for the installation. So according to the recommendation of the particular type of equipment or particular type of installation, the insulation is decided, and according to that the measurement takes place with the help of Megger. Megger are available in different values of the voltage. Normally for low voltage testing there is a Megger available of 500 volt. With the help of 500 volt Megger we can check the insulation which is used up to 600 volt working capacity. And if we go for high voltage measurement of insulation for use for high voltage, in that case we have to use 5 kV or 10 kV Megger for the testing of insulation of the power transformer as well as distribution transformer. So these type of insulation, it is measured with the help of Megger. Megger have 2 probes. and two terminals. One terminal is we have to connect to the conductor and one terminal connect to the body of the insulation. Body of the insulation means the outer layer of the wire where insulation is provided. So we just either this Megger is battery operated or it is manual hand operated. So we have to produce the desired voltage. Suppose this is a 500 volt Megger. So we just rotate that particular handle at the speed so that 500 volt appeared across conductor and insulation. So that will read the value of the insulation. Normally this Megger have two readings, 0 and infinity, and in between there is a values calibrated in terms of mega ohms. So 0 value it is obtained when there is a open circuit is there. In open circuit what happen, voltage is there but current is 0. So when voltage is there and current is value, current value is 0 in case of open circuit, current value is 0 and voltage appear across the Megger points, 2 points of the Megger, then V upon I is equal to resistance, that is in terms of mega ohm. So V is some value because of open circuit, and open circuit current is 0. So this will show the infinity reading at the time of open circuit, and opposite to this, when it is a short circuit, then the value will be read 0. So between 0 and infinity there are different values of the resistance depending upon the type of insulation. So insulation provided normally in the electrical equipments, they are PVC insulation. It is most popular for all type of internal wiring and industrial wiring and cables. PVC insulation is there. Apart from PVC insulation, we use cotton insulation also for the winding of the motors and the fans and other type of winding. Then we use rubber insulation also there. Then CTS cape tire sheathed insulation is also there. Then tough rubber sheathed insulation is also there. Then cotton insulation is also there. Then other type of insulation that is cross-link polyethylene cable are also there. They are for the high voltage. So this insulation is also used. That is called Xlp insulation. So there are different category of insulations are there, and according to the capacity of insulation to be provided in a particular type of equipment or installation, we decide the insulation to be provided according to the range of current at which a particular type of equipment or system is operated. So insulation testing, it is done with the help of Megger, and this Megger have two terminal and one rotating arm for handle for to rotate it, because this having a generator which provide desired voltage across the insulation and conductor, and by the reading made by this particular insulation testing equipment, that is Megger, we can take the value of the resistance in terms of mega ohm. So for testing purpose we use the Megger, and process is very simple. There are two terminal. One terminal is connected to the conductor and second terminal connected to the body, or we can say the insulation part of the winding or the wire or the conductor in which insulation is provided. In case of winding also, so same procedure is followed for measurement of insulation. So before using Megger, we put the short circuit between the two probes to check the 0 and infinity value, whether it is properly showing these two value or not. If it is showing properly these two value, it means that our Megger is working okay. Then you apply for the test. So this is the instrument used for measuring insulation resistance. The diagram of this Megger I will provide you on the WhatsApp group. So you take it the diagram. sometime it is in exam, it is asked to draw the diagram of Megger for measurement of insulation resistance of the particular wire or cable. So the diagram of this Megger I will provide you on the WhatsApp group, drawing on the WhatsApp group, and according to that particular diagram you can understand how the Megger is work. So Megger is a simple instrument, it is not difficult to operate, and it is also portable. For low voltage, whatever 500 volt Megger is there, it is a portable easily, but for 10 kV or 20 kV Megger, which is available for the insulation testing of the power and distribution transformer, or use up to 132 kV, 220 kV or 400 kV voltage. This type of 10 kV or 20 kV Meggers are there. They are bulky in size, and their transportation is to be done with the help of some arrangement. So this is the all about the instruments which are used for measurement of insulation resistance. It is a insulation resistance, not simple resistance. Simple resistance we can conductor resistance we can measure with the help of ohm meter. So that is come in terms of ohms, 1 ohm, 2 ohm, 3 ohm, 4 ohm, 5 ohm, like this, or up to 50 ohm or 100 ohm. But when there is a resistance in terms of mega ohm, then we have to go for the Megger. So Megger, it is for insulation resistance testing. It is not an ohm meter. Calibration is done in such a way on the scale of the Megger that it is read the resistance in terms of mega ohm. It start from 1 mega ohm or 0.5 mega ohm to 100 mega ohm, 500 mega ohm, whatever type of range is given for a particular equipment or particular type of Megger. So this is the use of instrument, that is Megger, which is used for measurement of the insulation resistance. Now reasons for deterioration of insulation, this is the second point. Reasons for deterioration of the insulation is there are so many reasons, in which one is direct, that is the mechanical injury. If there is a mechanical injury takes place on the particular layer of insulation, then it will be damaged, and damaged insulation, then the insulation is not work for insulating purpose, but there will be a conduction of current takes place through the place from where the mechanical type of injury produced on the insulation. Second, insulation is, if it is come in contact with the water continuously for long time, then what happen, the deterioration of quality of insulation will take place, and corrosion will be there due to this water locking in the insulation of the wire or cable, so its quality will be deteriorate. Then third one is if there is a porosity occur in the insulation. So insulators material or insulating material, this is one of the problem. Then fourth one is if the insulation is operated for higher range of current compared to its rated value. Suppose it is designed for 80 degrees centigrade, you are using the particular insulation, it is designed for 80 degree, and if you use the same insulation for the higher value of current, say more than 100, 150, then naturally the melting of insulation will take place. Insulating material provided with thermal stresses, and due to these thermal stresses the quality of the insulation become poor, and after some time the insulation will burn. So there are so many causes of deterioration of the insulation. So corrosion, temperature rise, then mechanical injury, and then mishandling of the insulating material. There are some reasons by which insulation is deteriorated. So insulation is provided when it is used in cable underground cable or overhead cable, then it is to be provided with certain layer, that is insulation. Over this the lead sheathing is provided. After lead sheathing we have to provide a bedding of the jute, and after bedding of the jute we provide the armoring. After armoring we provide a tough rubber layer, that is called the serving. So for protection of insulation there are 3-4 layers are there in the cable, whether it is used for underground purpose or overhead purpose. So armored cable normally used for underground purpose. When we have to let the cable underground, so we select or we have to provide the cable which is armored cable. So in armored cable the steel strips are there which are completely covered the cable. So in this case any type of mechanical injury which may be possible in the underground cable, it can be avoided by the this particular type of armoring provided. And for overhead purpose, armored cable are not used. They are simple cable which is provided with insulation and sheathing and serving maximum. So main reasons for deterioration of insulation, I have told you that thermal stress one reason, mechanical stress second reason, corrosion is the third reason, contact in coming with the chemical gases or chemicals, if it is attacked on the cable, in terms of those industries where chemical plants are there and production of chemical gases are there, like sulfur oxides of sulfur, or other type of acid like hydrochloric acid or sulfuric acid. So when acid attack is there on the insulation, then also the insulation will be deteriorated. So these are the few reasons by which we can count that insulation why it is deteriorated. So you can list out these reasons by which the insulation is deteriorated. Insulation when work at the over temperature, then also it will be deteriorated. As I have told you, if it is designed for 80 degree and if you operate it on 120 or more than 120 degree centigrade, then what happen? This melting of insulation will takes place due to high temperature, that is called as a thermal stress. So these are the reasons for deterioration of insulation resistance. Now improving insulation resistance, now how we can improve this? So improvement of the insulation resistance, it is done with the help of by avoiding whatever regions are there which are providing the deterioration of insulation. So if you remove all the regions for this, then insulation can be prevented properly for its rated value or design value. So improvement of resistance, insulation resistance, there is certain process. If you are using this particular insulation in terms of wire or cable, then there will be proper protection should be provided by lead sheathing, then serving by rubber, tough rubber, so insulation can be avoided for any type of damage, or the quality of insulation can be protected. So cable is provided with 3 layers above it on the insulation, that is lead sheathing, then bedding, and then armoring, and then serving. So these 4 layers will protect the insulation, and the quality of insulation can be maintained properly in the case of use whether underground or overhead. The other insulation which is provided for in form of insulating oil, this is provided for the transformer, to fill up in the transformer. So transformer oil, it is also said to be transformer oil. So its value is measured in terms of again mega ohm. Along with the transformer oil, the dielectric strength is also tested with the help of oil testing kit. So as I have told you in previous lecture, that insulating oil should have the proper value of dielectric strength, that is more than 50 kV per centimeter for 2 millimeter gap, is tested from the oil testing kit. So if the oil insulation is deteriorated or the insulating oil is deteriorated, then you have to reclaim it by filtration of the oil. So there are online filtration plant available for the oil filtration, or offline plant are also available. So by both the method you can do, either online filtration of the plant, so that will improve the insulating value. So whatever moisture content is there in the insulating oil, that can be removed with the help of continuous filtration and heating of the oil with the help of heating element. So this oil pass through a pipeline in which a heater is there and certain filters are there. So when this oil continuously pass through this pipeline with the help of motor circulation or pump circulation, so you will get the improved value of the insulating oil. So whenever insulating oil is deteriorated, its value shown by measure or by measurement of dielectric strength. If the oil value coming down to 40 or 30 kV per centimeter in case of insulating oil, then you have to reclaim the oil. Reclamation of oil means you have to put the oil on filtration plant, and if its value is again attained to the normal value of above 50 kV per centimeter, then the oil can be reused in the transformer. Otherwise, if it is by filtration, if the value is not improving to the operating value which is required in the system, then what happen, you have to remove this oil and use the fresh oil for the transformer. So because every insulating oil have certain life, number of sparking takes place due to short circuit or overload condition, heating of oil is takes place, so there is a decomposition of oil takes place, and it is this oil converted into sludge, that is the carbon, or number of oxides produced inside it. So the quality of this oil insulation deteriorated and its dielectric value will also go down. So dielectric value goes down in case so you, for reclamation, you have to go for filtration of the oil. So this is the one method of improving the insulation resistance of the this insulating oil. In case of solid insulation, whether it is a paper insulation, cotton insulation, or other type of insulation, the insulation can be improved with the help of using insulating varnish, or by impregation plant. You can put this cotton insulation or paper insulation through impregnate it with the help of insulating varnish, so the insulation will be improved. Similarly, super enameled copper wire which are used in the winding of the transformer or electric motors, so its insulation can also be improved with the help of insulating varnish. If it is deteriorated by mechanical injury or by overheating or by mishandling, if there is any harm to insulation is there, then we use the insulating varnish to improve the insulation resistance of such type of insulation. Now insulation, when we talk about insulation, so it is only a material insulation which is provided on the winding, but also insulators which are used in the form of porcelain or polycon insulator or other type of insulator, glass insulator are also used, but this is for the overhead lines and the all type of equipment which are generally installed in the yard of the substation. So these insulators are used, they are polycon insulator, the stake of insulator is there. So in this type of insulator, there are disc type insulators are there, pin type insulators are there, shackle insulators are there. So these insulators, it is different from the insulation. Insulations are provided on the winding or on the cable or on the wire, but these insulators are provided for separation of the equipment body from the earth. So we have to use the stake of insulator in between the body of the equipment to the earth. So these insulators, they are normally used in the field. They are porcelain insulator, and sometime glass insulators also used in some special type of cases. So mostly the porcelain insulator are more popular for this type of insulation provided for the equipments. In these equipments, the transformer bushings are there, their insulators are provided, primary bushings are there, secondary bushings are there, then terminal of the CTPT, which is housed on the box. This box is provided with the polygon insulator below it, so that it separate the live part of the equipment from the dead part of the earth. So it prevents any flow or leakage current flow from the live part to the earth. So for improving this type of insulators resistance, we have to go for checking of these insulator with the help of proper equipments, and clean it and see it for its hair cracks and porosity. If it is not there, then you can go for a flashover test of the insulator, and by flashover test we can easily find out the quality of the insulator which is provided. So in this topic today I will discuss only the two article, what is the insulation and insulating material, diagram of Meagher I will provide you, then value of different type of insulation according to their class and their temperature. This is also I will provide on the WhatsApp group, and Meagher diagram that I will also provide. And here whatever point we have discussed, that is instrument use for the insulation measurement, what is insulation, what are the types of insulation, what are the material of insulation, that I have discussed. Then insulating oil I also discussed. There are about 16 properties of insulating oils are there. So when I will cover in detail this property, then I will give the noting of all these properties of the insulating oil for suitability of its use for any type of equipment. Then we have discussed reasons for deterioration of the insulation, that I have given you in case of those insulation provided on the cables or on the windings of the equipments, what type of chances are there for deterioration, and what are the reasons for deterioration of the insulation of these equipment or the cable. So if you can avoid these particular reasons, then the insulation can be maintained. Similarly, for improvement of the insulation resistance or the improvement of the insulation value, so we have to use for impregnation plant, in which impregnation is done for the outer layer of the insulation, on which we use insulating varnish, and with the help of this varnish we can improve this insulation. Similarly, cotton insulation is there, then its value of insulation resistance can be increased by putting impregnation with the help of insulating varnish. So it will also improve the quality and the value of insulation resistance of the cotton. Similarly, if you are using PVC insulation, so maximum possibility in PVC insulation is that heating and mechanical stress. So if you keep away these insulating material from mechanical stresses and the thermal stresses, then you can maintain the value of this insulation, the value of insulation resistance of this insulating material. So next time I will discuss the types of insulation according to their classification on the basis of temperature and their class, and discuss what type of material of insulation which are commonly used for winding of the equipment or transformers, and then we will discuss the another article in this, after improving insulation resistance, drying of insulation. Now drying of insulation, it can be done with the help of oven. So at controlled temperature, if the impregnation is done on the insulation, then it is necessary to dry it. So for drying of insulation, we normally use the controlled temperature ovens are there, in which we keep this insulation, and this can be heated up to certain temperature as per design, and the drying of insulation will take place, that whatever insulating varnish you have provided on the insulation, it will be dried off by putting in the particular type of oven which is designed for this purpose. So either the winding of the motors up to any HP, it can also put according to size in the particular oven for drying of the insulation. And drying is takes place only, drying means that सुखाना, उसको सुखाने के लिए अपने को ओवन का यूज़ करना है. So oven, it depends on the size of the insulating material or the size of the machine on which insulation is provided. So we have to select that size of oven, and we keep this equipment in the oven at controlled temperature and for certain time period, so the insulation will be dried and easily. Then this particular equipment can go or can be attend for its own original operation, or it can be put back into the operation. So these are the few points which I have discussed on insulation. So you take all these things clearly mentioned by me, and you read out these all the things from the lecture and take it in form of notes. So because in insulation there is no any particular chapter given in any book, it is to be collected from the different places. So whatever type of sources available with me, and according to my experience, I am telling you all these things which are very simple in understanding. There is no problem of understanding of these articles. Only the diagram of the Megger that I will be provide to you on WhatsApp. So you take it, and the class of insulation according to classification on the basis of temperature, that I will also give the table of that. Then number of insulating materials are there. So I have discussed also in the beginning that what are the material which are used as insulating material for the winding or the cable or the wires. So that is all over for this. Similarly, I have also given the causes of deterioration of insulation, in which 3-4 reasons are there. If these reasons are removed, then naturally the insulation can be maintained properly. So this is all for today. The remaining article I will discuss next time, in which I will discuss the properties of the insulating oil, and then internal temperature of the winding, how it should be measured. Then vacuum impregation, it is done with the help of a vacuum impregation plant. Then filtering of insulating oil, that I have discussed by filtration plant, but at that time also I will try to provide you the drying of the filtration plant and its method of filtration, and testing of the insulating oil. So what are the tests to be done on the insulating oil? All these tests I will give. There are a number of tests, normally 10 to 12 tests are there. So I will give the values of this test and how it can be done, that I will discuss next time. So for today, this is sufficient for today. Thank you.